And then when I look at some of you sitting down today, everything is free. You ought to be able to praise him because everything it's free. The price has already been paid on Calvary. You don't have to wait for a red light sale. No 65% off. You don't have to have a coupon this morning. It's buy one get one free. It's free. Okay, I see y'all standing now. Y'all really, it's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. Free. 50% off. It's free. Job chapter 14, just one verse in your hearing. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time. All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change comes. I want to preach, wait from a change. Wait from a change. I'm gonna wait for my change. And I don't know about y'all, if you ever went to a restaurant before and you left the waiter a tip and you just didn't leave there without him bringing back some change. Let me talk to this side of the church. If you go to a restaurant and you include the price of the bill and you include the tip and there's about $10 left because all you had was a 20, normally you're gonna wait for some. Okay, Kathy, yeah. If you pay him more than what is expected of you, you're gonna wait for some change. Y'all kind of slow here this morning. If you go to Walmart and they do the total and it comes to $14.47 and you give her a $20 bill, you just ain't gonna grab your bags and leave. You gonna yeah. Nicole, she already got it figured out, $5.33. I got to wait for 53 cents. I got to wait for my change. You have to wait this thing out. If you're going to have victory over what you're going through, you have to wait this thing out. You have to wait for change. And don't make any sudden moves right now. Your change is going to come, but you have to wait it out. Oftentimes we want to make sudden moves, and when you make a sudden move, you don't think the process through. And every now and then I talk to John and say, well, I'm getting ready to make a move. I'm moving, and what he's saying is he's getting ready to do something else. And oftentimes I think, well, you got to think through the process before you try to make a move. The doctor, after he diagnoses that you have the flu, he gives you some medicine. And if you're anything like me, the first question out of your mouth, Pastor, is how long before it kicks in? How long before I start feeling better? Anybody ever did that before? And he says it could take up to 2 days before you start feeling better. But we have to wait it out. We've got to wait for the change. He looks at removing himself. Paul, he looks at removing himself from what he's going through or what he's dealing with as relief from the situation. Have you ever been like that before? So Paul, he's talking about removing himself when he deals with death from that situation that he may not have to go through it. He has determined, like some of us, if we remove ourselves from the person, it's a form of relief. If I disassociate myself with the person, stop talking to them, stop dealing with them, stop being around them, I will somewhat get peace of mind. Y'all gonna help me here in a minute. I will somehow get the relief that I'm looking for. Job, he had to deal with his two friends who thought he had sinned against God. Who have nothing nice to say about anything, who should be encouraging him but crucifying him. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends that should be lifting him up but pulling him down. Friends, how many of us have them? Should be praying for him but persecuting him. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends that should be supporting him, not creating stumbling blocks. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends that should be noteworthy, but they're just nosy. Y'all gonna help me here in a minute. If not only does he have to deal with his so-called friends, he has to deal with the testing period in his life. It's right there in the text. Now God is using him as an example to the world that if I take everything from him, will he still praise me? Who am I talking to this morning? So your so-called friends who aren't acting right, and then God decides to use you as a test to show the world, if I take the house, will he still praise me? If I kill his kids, will he still praise me? Who he prayed for every night, will he still give me the praise? And even if his wife walks out on him and he stops and she stops believing in him, it ain't nothing like having a wife that don't believe in you. Okay, brothers, y'all ain't got to say amen. I know it's right. It's in the backdrop of the text. Job, he loses everything. And when the woman gets to a point in her life and she sees that everything is gone, she was okay with losing all the material stuff. But when you start messing with her children, women, y'all ought to help me out here for a moment. I'm an equal opportunist preacher. So when you start messing with her children, she got an issue with that. And the issue that she had was that she believed that God was good, but when you start messing with my children, when you start messing with my seed, y'all ain't gonna help me here this morning. I'm trying to paint you a picture this morning. And so she believed in Job. She believed in the God that Job served until God started messing with the children. And so now Moses, now Job finds himself in a curious position. Because now I'm messing with Jonathan. And as long as I was okay, everything was cool. You believed in me, but when I started messing with Jonathan, I understand you're my husband. We've been married for 24 years, but I bore Jonathan. I carried Jonathan for 9 months. When he kicked, I kicked. When he came out screaming, I was screaming. So everything's okay until you start messing with my baby. And so now Job, he finds himself in a curious position because now the wife that God gave him, she's angry with him and wants him to curse God because the babies are gone now. And Job, he looks at her, he says, you sound like a foolish woman. Even though we don't have anything, brothers, we need some men that will stand up and say, you sound like a foolish woman. Things may not be going, y'all ain't gonna help me, brothers. Things may not be going right now, but if God said that's what we're going to do, even though it don't look good right now, even though you may think I'm messing with your child, I'm trying to help your child out in the long run. Why? Because he's my seed too. And Job, he says, you sound like a foolish woman. Now he got to deal with God, he got to deal with a woman, and he got to deal with 2 disgruntled friends. And he's got to deal with him all by himself. Have you ever noticed? They say misery loves company. But when you're really going through something, ain't nobody around with you. Can I just preach this thing the way I feel it? When you're really going through, ain't nobody there for you. When it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep, and you try calling somebody, you'll get their answer machine. If you're lucky, then you might get a voicemail that says all filled up, but they haven't set up. Ain't nobody trying to go through with you. Have you ever known when you all by you, when you alone at the lowest moment of your time, ain't nobody around. There ain't nobody there when you really need. Y'all ain't gonna help me here this morning. If you can just reflect back just for a moment at the loneliest moment of your life, was there anybody there? When Jesus goes into the garden of Gethsemane by himself, nobody there. The boys that he took with him that he thought had his back went to sleep. He was left all by himself. And then God decides to use you as a test to show the world, if I take that from you, will you still praise me? Whenever you're waiting for a change to take place in your life, you have to go through a testing period in your life. Change does not come without test. Change does not come without test. And if you get a change without going through a testing period, the change that you just experienced, it ain't a real change. When your friends start acting funny and things aren't happening in your life, it's just a testing period that you have to go through. You just have to wait for your change because trouble don't last forever. Can I help somebody out this morning? You don't need a lot of friends in your life. Let me say that again. You don't need a lot of friends in your life. No way. They don't mean you no good. No way. You have to learn how to love yourself and befriend yourself. I don't know about y'all, but I love me some me. And I'm friendly with me. I go to the movies by myself. Old Town Steak and Seafood is my favorite local restaurant. And I will go to dinner by myself and sit by the fireplace and eat my steak all by myself. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Hey, when Deacon Davis get an attitude and he don't want to go fish with me, I go fishing by myself. Yeah, when Brother Delane don't want to answer his phone, I go hunting all by myself. Yes, I will. I love me some me, and I'm friendly with me. And because I love me and I'm friendly with me, guess what? I don't mind hanging out with me. And every now and then you need some me time anyway. You'll have less frowns on your face if you had some me time, less gray hairs if you had some. Y'all ain't had no me time? Yeah. I don't go to Burger King. No, Burger King. I go to the Best by myself. Yeah, Job, you have to have some me times. And if the truth be told, everybody ain't your friend no way. Y'all ain't gonna help me this morning. There's not a friend like the lonely Jesus. No, not one. No one else could heal our soul diseases. No, not one. Job, he looks at he begins to process everything that he has been through and what he's going through. And for a moment, he ponders the thought, for a moment, removing himself from the situation or even death might be better than having to deal with what he's dealing with. Yeah, it's in the text. The underlying factor of what's going on is Job is subconsciously saying that if I remove myself from this situation or even these people, perhaps my life would be a whole lot better dead than alive. Notice now he only ponders the thought for a moment. For a brief second. Don't y'all act like that. Because a lot of y'all schizophrenic anyway. And yeah, that's it. One. Joanne, it's the truth. One moment of insanity. When you've been dealing with all that Job's been dealing with, he was the richest man in the East. He lost everything. He prayed every day for his children that if they had committed any sin, that God would forgive them. His children all died. His wife walks away from him. Don't look at Job that way. For a moment, even the strong of us would have considered, if I remove myself from this situation, perhaps even being dead would be better than living or going through what I'm going through.
Yes, Lord. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it's only for a moment. Something kicks in. Let me show you what kicks in. Something kicks in that moment. He says, when you look at the dynamics of the text, he pauses and then he finishes the question. If man die, pause. Shall he live again? I spent a lot of time trying to answer the question. Even in questioning Job, if there was a uncertainty on whether or not he believed in eternal life. Trying to answer this question was difficult even when we examine verse 7. The parallel that Job uses with the tree. If you cut down the tree, it would sprout again. Possibility that the tree could live, but man not live. Then God told me that it's not the answer to the question that's important. It's the response after his own question that we should focus on. All of the days of my appointed time will I wait, pause. Work with me, y'all. I'm going somewhere. The word appointed in Hebrew means service. So what Job is saying, help me, Holy Ghost. all of my service time will I wait. Pastor, preach, I believe I will. What Job is saying, that all of my service time ought to mean something. If you serve 20 years in the Marine Corps, every month your service time, it means something. If you serve 20 years in the Navy, Reverend Harrington, at the end of them 20 years, your service time, it ought to mean something. If you retire from Geico, your service time ought to mean something. If you ever old enough to collect Social Security because you got your pastor, you got your quarters in, it ought to mean something. I feel like preaching. If you ever been serving on the usher board, your service time ought to mean something. If you've been singing in the choir, your service time ought to mean something. If you've been on the deacon ministry, your service time ought to mean something. If you're preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, your service time ought to mean something. Because soon and very soon I'm going to see the King, and payday is coming after a while, because I have my time in, and only what you do for Christ will last. You have to put your time in while you can. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. Night cometh when no man can work. You have to put your time in. Your steps are getting shorter, vision getting dimmer, hearing getting lesser. You got to put your time in. Can I go just a little bit deeper in the text? Two things happen when you have your service time in. It's right there in the text. The original question was, if a man die, shall he live again? But C clause of verse 14 is till my change come. Let me do this again. Let me slow myself down. The original question was, if a man die, shall he live again? The C clause of verse 14 is till my change come. In the middle of the days, in the middle of all of the days of my service time, will I wait? Thank you, Holy Ghost. See, that's where you should have got your shout on. Hey, stand up, Reverend Jones. Stand up, Nicole. Let me see if I can't paint the picture here. Reverend Jones, you come on my left side. I need to keep my left eye on you. Reverend Jones, he's the first question. His question is, if a man dies, shall he live again? In the C clause of the verse is that till my change come. And right in the middle of, if a man die, shall he live again? In the C clause, till the change come, we find me right here in the middle. We find service.
That's right. Go ahead.
No, y'all, I'm gonna work this thing out. See, we find service in the middle. Thank you, Holy Ghost. See, whenever you have service time in, you shall you live and not die. When you have your service. Y'all, are y'all with me this morning? Let me. I got to catch this fish this morning. See, if you got your service time in, you can go back to the original question. Shall a man live again if he die? But if you got your service time in, y'all ain't with me. I said if you got your service time in, you can go back to that original question. Shall a man live again? You can live again as long as you got your service time in. See, a lot of y'all come to church, but you ain't got no service time in. You come here every Sunday, but you ain't got no service time in. You want to know if you can live again? You gonna live and you ain't gonna die. Why? Because you got some service time in. I've been serving the Lord for a mighty long time. I ain't tired yet. I said you got to have your service time. Y'all gonna make me work this thing. I feel like working this morning anyhow. You got to have your service time in. Shall a man live again and not die? Yeah, you ain't gonna die. You gonna make it through what you're going through. Why? Because you got your service time in. You gonna deal with what you're dealing with. Why? Because you got your service. Amen. And every now and then, this is a part of your service time. You got to drop down on your knees. And you got to begin to pray to God about what you're going through. And God will tell you that you ain't going to die. I'm just using you as a test right now. Why? Because you got your
service time in.
Anybody got their service time in? I don't know about y'all, but I got some neology. Every now and then I've got to drop down on my knees and I've got to get my service time in, because one day gonna come, Sister Jones, I'm not gonna be able to get down. They missed it. They missed it. They ain't gonna be able to get down. I said, they ain't gonna be able to get down. Jemiah, stand up, girl, because you like you've been getting down. You've been getting down. One day gonna come, she ain't gonna be, come on, Jemiah, work with me, girl. One day gonna come in, and she ain't gonna be able to get down. Why? Because age gonna set in. And when the age set in, you won't be able to do the things that you
should do. Change. The change.
Preach that, preach.
But why I got some time right now?
Yeah.
Why I'm getting on your last nerve right now?
Yeah.
Why you think it don't take all of that? Why you think I'm too loud? I'm just getting my service time in. Why you don't want to praise God? And I'm just getting my service time in. Why I'm clapping off beat just trying to get my service time in. Why I'm singing loud and I'm just trying to get my service time in. Why I'm just trying to get my
service time in. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Service time.
got my. You see me like and I feel like, can I just go a little bit deeper? And when you have your service time, man, you have to wait till your change comes.
Yeah.
I said, when you got your service time in. See, Reverend Harrington, every first of the month, he waiting for that check. Because he got his service time. He ain't calling me up at the post office, have you seen my check? Is it there yet? He's secure. It's automatic. Matter of fact, his don't even come in the mail. He got direct deposit because he got his service time in. And what are you trying to say, Pastor? God would directly put some stuff in deposit for you if you got your service time in. God would deposit something in your account if you got your service time in. But you got to put your service time in so God can deposit something in your
inside.
I don't know about y'all, but I say fill my account, Lord, fill my account.
Yeah.
That's why you ain't got to beg me to pray. I'm just working on my account. You ain't got to beg me to preach. I'm just working on my account. You ain't got to beg Sister the usher. I'm just working on my account.
Yeah. Preach it, Pastor.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
That's the word.
Listen, he said, if you, when you have your service time in, all you have to do is wait for your change. And he may not come when you want him to.
Yeah, but he's on time.
I feel like preaching now.
Yeah.
But he's on time.
Yeah, he's on time.
When you have your service time in,
yeah,
you just got to wait for your change to come.
Yeah.
Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage.
Yeah.
And he shall strengthen thy heart.
Yeah.
The wait I say on the Lord.
Yeah.
When you have your service time in, you just got to wait for your change to come.
Yeah.
But they that wait upon the Lord, help me, Holy Ghost, shall renew their strength.
Yeah.
They shall mount up with wings and as an eagle. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. You have to be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters that will bring his fruit in each season. All you got to do is just wait for your change to come. I said you just got to wait for your change. But Pastor, how long do I wait? I don't know how long you're going to wait, but just wait for your change to come. I don't know how long you're going to be in that situation, but just wait till your change come. I don't know when God's going to bring you out, but can somebody say, I'm just going to wait till my change come. I don't know how I'm going to look when I come out, but I'm just going to wait for my
change to come.
I don't know when I'm coming out, but I'm just going to wait for my
change to come.
I feel like preaching right now. You've got to learn how to wait till your change come. I'll pray until my change come. I'll keep coming till my change come. I'll keep ushering till my change come. I'll keep preaching till my change come. I'll keep singing till my change come. I'll keep coming till my change come. I've got to wait for my change to come, but I can wait on the Lord. And what makes me wait with great expectations is the Lord already told me he would never leave me nor forsake me. All I got to do is just wait for my change. I said I'm just going gonna wait on my change. Boy, you've been waiting for a long time, but I ain't tired yet. I'm gonna wait for my change. Why? Because trouble don't last always. Peggy, you just got to wait for your change to come. I know what the doctor said, but I know a doctor of doctors. I know a physician of physicians, and you just got to wait for your change to come. I know what the bank said. Your income to debt spending rate is too high, and you can't get the loan, but that's all right. I know a God that owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and all I got to do is just wait. Somebody say wait. All I got to do is just wait for my change to come. And Joanne, why I wait? I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to sit right here and wait for my change to come. I ain't getting tripping. I ain't tripping out on that stuff. I'm just going to sit right here and wait for my change to come, because soon and very soon my change going to come. And when my change come, the same person that walked by me like you didn't know me, when my change come, the same person that looked at me like you didn't understand what I was saying, when my change come, when you didn't want to give me a ride in your car, when my change come, when you didn't want me to spend the night at your house, when my change come, don't you start acting like you my friend then, because my change gonna come. I said my change. My change. I said my change. My change. I said I want my change. I'm gonna wait.